What's going on? It's Lawrence Kane Jr., financial coach, aka the Money Man, back with another video for you today. In today's topic, we're going to discuss 5 things that you need to do before you move out of your parents' house permanently. Now, when I left my mom's house, I did not have these things in place. I wasn't even close. I moved out when I was 17 years old, and it was typical during that time to move out after you graduate, right? I just so happen to still be only 17. But looking back, right, and as we developed our Abundance University curriculum and workshops, one of the main things that we want you all as young people to look at is, how do I earn the right to move out? Like, we know eventually it's going to happen. You're not going to be in your parents' house forever. So knowing that, we want to prepare you as much as possible before that actually happens, okay? So let's get into these topics of what you need to do. Number 1, the first thing that you have to do is you need to save $5,000 on your own. Now, again, whenever you want to start that journey, hopefully you've been working, if you're of age and you've been developing that habit. But if you are new to working, this is something that you want to implement. If you're making money, you should be saving money. And before you move out, quite frankly, you just need to make sure you have a cushion just in case something happens. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when you move out, whether you lose your job, whether your car breaks down, whether, it can be anything, man. And it's out of your control. Like, it's not something that you plan for. It's just one of those things that can happen. So that's the main thing. Save at least $5,000 before you move out. Now, that number could be larger. It could be smaller depending on where you're moving to, where you live at in the country. Like, I live in the Midwest. Our cost of living is totally different than somebody that lives in California. So at the end of the day, $5,000 is that starting point, and that should be the minimum that you have in your savings account before you leave your parents' house. Number 2, you need to start building your credit. So I just did a video, I believe last week, about how to build your credit the right way. So this is one of those things that you need to establish before you move out. When I moved out, again, I did not have this in place. I didn't even know what my credit score was when I moved out, because remember, I moved out at 17, so I didn't even have a credit score at that point, right? When I became 18, still didn't know my credit, still didn't understand the concepts of credit. And that's why we teach it now. And we want you to prepare yourself to be wise with your credit. And if you build it before you move out, you already are ahead of a lot of adults, right? And let me just say this while I'm here. I'm not telling you that you have to have all of this illustrious credit, 850 and stuff like that. I'm just saying you have to be on the right track. And that's what is messing people up. They're on the wrong track, and they're still trying to do these responsible, grown-up things. And it magnifies once you get to adulthood. And I don't want that for you. I want you to really lock in, really get your credit together, start the process again, whether you're getting a self account, whether your parents are financially well enough to be able to authorize you on one of their credit cards that's in good standing. All of those things matter. So if you are able to build your credit before you move out, you are setting yourself up for success. And remember, you quite frankly have no reason why you can't build good credit before leaving out the house. You have all of the time, all of the resources to be able to do that. All right. The third thing that you need to do before you move out is that you need to establish a list of ways you can make money, right? And develop these skills before you move out. These bills don't stop, y'all. Like once you move out, it's rare that people move back in and don't have bills, right? If I move back with my parents today, I'm still gonna have a good amount of bills that I have to pay. Yeah, I might not be paying rent or mortgage if I move back with my parents, but I'm still gonna have the student loans, still gonna have cell phones, still gonna have business expense. Like these bills aren't going anywhere. So you want to make sure before you move out that you are equipped to be able to generate money enough to where if a pandemic happens, you are equipped to be able to withstand that. If you lose your primary source of income, you have skills that are able to get you through that transitional period. That's what I'm really harping on. There's going to be some transitional periods in your life, and you're going to have to just push through. And the best way to do that is to make sure you have multiple ways that you can generate revenue, whether it is a side hustle, whether it is multiple industries that you're good in. That's all you really need to start off with, right? Are you good at doing hair for my young ladies watching this? Are you good at drawing for my artists? Like, if you can find ways to generate some bread, like that's what you need to do. But write it down. Some people don't know what they're really good at. So I challenge you to write out a list and decide how much money do you want to make doing any of these things at your peak. And do that again before you move out. Now, the fourth thing that you need to do before you move out of your parents' house is you need to create an investment account. This is super critical because we know that when it comes to investing, when you're younger, time is on your side. You don't want to be me and start late. You don't want to wait until you make a certain amount of money. Start with what you are already generating. You don't even have to be 18 years old to start an investment account. All you need is your parent or guardian to authorize it, but you can contribute to your retirement or an investment account that you're going to use to buy property or buy other businesses. Like, there's obviously a lot of different reasons why you should invest, and that's up to you to decide what you're going to do with that type of money. But you have to start that now. You have to be in a position to where when you get 25, when you get 30, when you get 35, you've developed the habit of investing every time you touch money. Just like we talk about saving every time you touch money. You have to do both. You invest when you're early. This is how it starts off, and then eventually it just takes off. So you want to do that before you move out. You want to do that by either setting up an account on E-Trade. You can get with a financial advisor. You can get on the Acorns account. I'll link my Acorns account in the description. But you can start there with $5 a month. And again, it's not about the amount. It's about the discipline. That's all it's about. Credit is about discipline. Everything that I'm telling you today is about discipline. And setting these disciplines up before you move out is going to tremendously help you out in the long run. All right, the last thing that you need to do before you move out of your parents' house, it's simple. You need to create a community around you, either with your friends, a mentor, just people that's going to challenge you to be better. Like, I'm around people that inspire me, that can hold me accountable. I don't have any yes men around me. Everybody can check me when I'm not on my A game, when I'm not taking care of my business. And that helps me continue to level up, and it inspires me to stay consistent, whether it's my health, whether it's my wealth. All right. Now, getting a mentor in that piece is going to help you get to your goals faster, as far as looking at what they've been able to do without making the mistakes that they do. So getting a mentor is super important. Think about somebody that you're already connected to that may be able to mentor you. Also, look at social media. There may be people that offer mentorship or coaching. Start tapping in. Like, there's one thing about adults is that we love helping young people. Most of us. Most of us love helping young people, especially those that are looking to get in our industry, because there's not enough of us to be able to serve everybody on earth. So it's never a competition thing, at least the real ones. We know that. So get you a mentor, get you some friends that are building something. They ain't necessarily got to be building what you build, but you got to be around people that's like, oh, you trying to do this? You trying to go here? Like, that's the conversation. It got to be or let's, like, what you gonna do to get that? You said you want that car. What you gonna do to get it? They should challenge you like that. Not like, oh yeah, good luck. Like, that ain't no friend. Like, they just wishing you well when you tell them your biggest dream. Like, no, my friends, my business associates, we are locked in to the point where if you tell me what your goal is, I'm actually looking at ways to support. I'm looking at my resources and seeing, all right, what do you need? What can I do? All right. So remember these 5 things and write these down. Hopefully you've been taking notes, but write these things down on what you need to do before you leave the house. I've talked about these 5 things all across the country, and it's always adults in there that say, man, Lawrence, if I did these things when I was a kid, or if I did these things before I moved out, I'd be rich. That's exactly what they say. Now, mind you, everything I said had nothing to do with being rich, but the habits that they are, man, they're game changers. So if you need help doing this, feel free to get in contact with me. I really want to help you with this. If you're a parent watching this, please feel free to reach out to me. But guys, I thank you for tuning in thus far, and I wish you the best on your financial journey. We'll continue to provide as many resources and tips and everything in between for you. Please, if you're not doing so, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And remember that financial success happens on purpose, and success does not visit the lazy. God bless.